back and forth. Fun times when you're a streamer or recorder, right? Not everything is on the same volume and levels and all that. Okay, good, good. Okay, let's... Oh, I already did. Whatever. And so, I joined the others of my rank, the confidants and supporters of the noble elite. It is not difficult to identify the footmen of Duke Farod. Despite their position, they are a mismatched pair in clothing so plain that it barely merits the title of uniform. They sit in silence and stare at the palace servants who give them a wide berth. It would appear there is some long-standing disagreement in Guelenor between the royal family and this duke and duchess, one that extends even to the servant ranks. The attendants of the other guests are far more sociable, even Prince Gaston's shy little maid. We are all made welcome to the table, and the generous helpings of well-prepared food, much of which is still warm. Accompanying our meal is a pale and delicate sherry of a variety which does not keep well once the bottles have been breached. Thus we are encouraged to drain it dry. I myself partake only moderately, but Prince Nazagi's chief valet appears to be half fish by the way he drinks. Oh, savage. Okay, gotta stay hydrated. I'm glad I don't have that bot, which has like the whole stay hydrated thing, because that'd be annoying. But today, a little humid here, so I'm gonna stay hydrated. Okie doke. At the conclusion of the meal, we are treated to pastries and tiger nut milk. Oh, what is that? And all assembled are dully awed by the large largesse. Largesse or largesse? Is this some kind of food then? I'm assuming. Hi, Sign. Good to see you. We just started, so you didn't miss anything. Afterwards, the proper thing to do is return to our rooms to await my master. What I intend to do, of course, is something less than proper, to find the viewing chamber that the page mentioned, and cast my eyes over the festivities. Guarding Oscar from hidden dangers is another facet of my role, whether those dangers be a sword in a dark alley or a social schemer out to trip him up. Anything could happen to him if I'm not there to watch. Yes, must protect our golden boy. So I'm still debating. I guess I hope I get to know them a little bit before I have to make a choice on whose route I want to go on. Just because, you know, automatically I was like, Gaston, no. And I really like, I feel like Oscar is almost like the canon choice because it just feels so sweet and cute, her and Oscar. But I have to give the other guy a chance, right? Mr. Pretty Boy. He looks all dark and aloof and stuff, so I don't know. We'll see. I'm sure everything is fine. Oscar has never had any difficulties with dancing lessons. Still, he might make little mistakes, and it would fall to me to discover those faults and train them out. He is, after all, a prize stallion of a sort. Shaking my head slightly at the image of Oscar as a fearsome warhorse, I slip into the servants' passages. It is clear that these unfinished corridors are not intended for the Ooh, throat. What was that? Oh, so right before this, you know, I've been busy, but I just recorded 2 episodes of The Great Ace Attorney. And then I was quickly editing one of the episodes right before the stream. And I heard a voice I did, and I was like, no, why did I do this voice? And then I was like, oh, I've been playing Danganronpa too, so Monokuma's voice is in my head. So I'm using Monokuma's voice, and I'm like, no, why is Monokuma's voice coming out of my mouth when I'm not intending it to? So, I don't know. Next time I record Great Ace Attorney, I might have to change those voices because I'm just like, I'm not happy hearing too much Monokuma. I'm like, no, no. Ah, that damn bear. He ruins everything. Okay, anyway. It is clear that those unfinished corridors are not intended for the eyes of those above the salt. Even in the dim lighting, the exposed surfaces are a rough contrast to the splendor elsewhere. Dark, yes, but not very dusty. Either someone is assigned to clean even these unseen areas, or this location gets far more use than I'd expect. Perhaps there are always dances, or perhaps there are so few that this passage makes the ideal rendezvous point for more private pursuits. Okay, sign. I will look forward to reading it. I think I still have to read whatever you sent me last time. There, a peephole. The crush of music and laughter is already clear. Moving closer, I can see wigs and ball gowns below. Oscar must be out there somewhere, but it may take a few minutes to pick him out. Now, I might need you guys' help because it's been a while since we last played this, and I don't fully remember which voices I gave to whom. I think I gave Oscar a British voice, a British accent. I don't know. We'll see. I don't think I had to talk for the men much yet, so maybe I'm still in luck and I'm like, I have time to establish voices for them. No, Coco. You would give him the salmonella voice. I would never. Speaking of salmonella, wait, was it? No, it was Dr. Hottie. Okay. Something popped up recently that it reminded me of Dr. Hottie, and I immediately thought of Salmonella and Hottie, your voices for them, and I was just like, cringe, but laughing at the same time. Oh, Lord. I hear footsteps approaching and at first think nothing of it. There are any number of servants in this palace after all, but that is not a servant. Oh, that's the prince, right, from the other country. The brother of the girl. Huh, I forgot your name. But you have like the emo cloud vibe to you. Emo boy. Hey, what's up, you pretty boy? My lord? Callum. Okay, Callum. You. Who are you? Madeline Valois, my lord. Valet to Osendawir. Oh, Osendawir. That's what I said it was. What is he doing here? He's a prince. He should be dancing with the nobles assembled below. Could the man be, of all things, lost in his own palace? Girl, I don't think so. Do you need something, my lord? Nothing you could provide for me. Oh, you're so angsty, emo boy, yes. A slight static sound? It might be from this headset. I had to use my old headset today, and unfortunately that one has some tears in the wiring, so I wouldn't be surprised. Ugh, damn headset. I have to go back to using the other one once I clean it. It got really, really dirty as it fell. So I was like, oh shoot, can't use it today. This headset needs to go in the garbage. I'm just seeing more and more tears in the wiring. I'm wondering if... No, I was gonna say, because we had mice like a year or two ago. That I'm wondering if they attack the wires, but I don't think that's possible, so no. Probably just wear and tear. The poisonous edge to his dismissal makes me wonder what exactly he thought I was offering. As I have failed to respond, he presses on. Are you on some errand? My time is my own at the moment, my lord. Then why are you here? What is the world coming to when a servant cannot have privacy from her betters, even in the back halls? Leave me alone, sir. That's what she feels like. It is a complete breach of decorum for him to set foot here at all. He shouldn't be challenging me about it. Inarguably rude though his question is, he is a member of the royal family, and I am a guest in his home. I am observing, my lord. Like the little cinder girl, watching and dreaming of what she can never have. I beg your pardon? Guest or not, that was just too far. No desire to be a princess, but then you must be a noblewoman's daughter in your own land. Younger daughter. And if misfortune favors the succession, it would fall to you. Better that than a younger son, the one left over when everyone tires of matchmaking. We can't choose how we're born. One would think. Anyway, my lord, you might be a king one day. That's not an option for me. Indeed. I suppose I shouldn't have said that much, but something about the man gets under my skin. Ooh, is he a possibility? Because I'm getting this vibe of, like, hate to love kind of thing. Like, we're seriously antagonistic at the beginning, but then she'll see, like, a softer side of him or something, and then little by little we'll, like, become friends to lovers, maybe. I don't know. That's the vibe I'm getting from him. He seems like an angsty boy who needs love. He needs love. So, if not envy and not an errand, what's your game? I'm keeping watch over my prince, as is my responsibility. Louisa, darling! Long time no see. How are you? Who is this? Thirst? Louisa, this is emo angst boy, Prince Angst. That's who he is. How you been, Louisa? At least I was, before you began interrogating me for no reason. I just love this Spanish guitar. I'm such a big fan of the music in this game. His only answer is a snort, very unprincely of him, before he leans forward to place his own eye to one of the peepholes overlooking the ballroom. Well, dutiful spy, it seems you have nothing to worry about. There may even be wedding bells in his future. Oh? What? I plaster myself to the wall and frantically scan the dancers below. Oh? Oh. There he is. They look kind of cute together. Oscar. His hair glittering in the light of the chandeliers, and a young woman in his arms, Princess Cassidy. She's smiling at him. They look happy. Of course they look happy. They're royalty. They've been trained to be dazzlingly polite in all circumstances. She'll dance with all of her suitors. That's why they're here. It's nothing. Ooh, I think you're jealous. She sounds a little jealous. She places her hand in his, tilts her head. She laughs, and his eyes answer. You know, but if we don't go on his route, then I think as long as he's happy with the princess, then that's good, you know? Like, that way, there's no leftover broken hearts there. They walked together towards the edge of the dance floor, strolling like lovers. What if I was wrong? What if they're a perfect match? If she chose him, Oscar would not hesitate to do his duty, regardless of any childish infatuations. Even the letter, he knew as he wrote it that it meant nothing. Sorry. He so much as said that confessing gave him closure. It allowed him to put it all behind him, never to be mentioned again. There are no obstacles in his path. If she chose him here and now, that would be that. He would leave and I would be... I stepped back from the sight, intending to make my apologies to Prince Callum, but he is nowhere to be seen. He must have left while I was distracted. I shouldn't have come up here. I expected to see Oscar bumbling innocently along like the little boy he was when we met. I wanted to reassure myself that nothing had changed, that I was in control, older and wiser, like always. I was not ready to face the idea that he might not need me anymore. Oh, the feels! I returned to our rooms, too distracted to choose an adventurous route. How could he do this? Of course he could do this, that's why we came here. But he only this evening sent me that letter. But who knows when he wrote it, before he met her, certainly. Days, weeks ago, it could have been. Old news. I have no right to feel betrayed. I've told him dozens of times that we are nothing but friends. It's only natural for him to respond to a pleasant young princess who might be interested in him. I must stay calm. In all likelihood, this will come to nothing. The princess is a sheltered young woman enjoying the attentions being paid to her. But she's also an heiress who has been raised to her responsibilities. Perhaps Cassidy and Oscar might come to an understanding in time, but her family would insist that she meet others first. Even if they were swept away by some mad passion and declared an engagement on the spot, which would be an incredible scandal, it would take months to organize a formal wedding. Disaster is not imminent. I have to believe that. Still, one thing is clear to me. I have been too complacent. I have not planned ahead. Sooner or later, I will lose my position with Oscar, and I need to think about what to do next. I don't like it, but not liking something doesn't stop it from happening. I have to face this. There are no other princes in Osendawir, but there is no shortage of young men. If I'm credited with polishing Oscar for a prestigious match, mothers may want to entrust their sons to me, or even younger children. I've had enough education to pass for a tutor if I must. Such a role would give me a new home and security for a time, at least. There are benefits to having worked within the palace for so many years. Someone may wish to employ me on the basis of what and whom I know. And then there are my other skills, although I would prefer not to rely on them. One who lives by the blade tends to die by it as well. Ah, yes. Because in the art of the game, the cover art, she's holding a sword, so that's why I was like, oh, adventure game. Like, she's gonna be kicking ass and taking names, so I'm kind of excited to see her be a badass. But at the same time, I'm kind of worried if something will happen to Oscar that will make her have to do that. No, never. Not that, and not returning to my family's hearth. Better to starve with dignity. I can't believe it could come to that. How could I have let this happen? I knew my life with Oscar couldn't last. I told myself that I was being the wise one, that I was focusing on what was most important and not letting myself be distracted. Apparently, wisdom and blindness look so similar that I couldn't tell the difference. No, I will not panic. Everything will be all right. I have time. Once we are in our own country again, I will set aside my wages. I will work harder at being sociable and making connections within the court. It is never too late to make a good beginning. Perhaps if Oscar marries well, their majesties will see fit to reward me. I am an adult now, and I have earned their trust. They might have a new position in mind. With royal support and a higher pay rate, I would be able to make a home for myself. And then, with security and a place of my own, I could consider personal matters, love, a family, all the things I can't have now. A real future at last. Oscar marrying Cassidy could be the best thing that ever happens to me. But even I wouldn't believe myself if I claimed I would not miss him. Oh. I am drawn from my contemplations by a strange sound. Uh-oh, here we go. Or perhaps an absence of sound. I'm not entirely sure. It wasn't something that I registered on a conscious level, but I have been trained to respond to changes in my surroundings. Something is wrong. Oh no, has someone been murdered? I rise and walk to stand near the doors, just beyond the arc that they cover when they swing. If someone or something bursts through those doors, I would rather not be struck in the face. There's a rumble in the distance, a hubbub that can't be silenced by solid walls and thick carpeting. And it's growing. She should have stayed there and watched what was going on, because I had a feeling her leaving was probably not a good thing. Heavy footsteps, the clash of metal, a fist hammering on the door. Open up in the name of the king! Oh no. What's going on? What? Oh shoot. The music changed. The princess has been kidnapped by your master. What? Oh, Oscar, what have you done? He's been framed? Oh, okay, that's the intro. Oh. Okay. That's a dagger, not a sword. Oscar, Lucinda. This feels very 90s with the rock music. Callum of Gwilynor. Pretty boy. Aw, Princess Cassidy. She's so cute. Oh, she got some angst story. Oh, Mr. Pretty Boy, Nazagi of Asenath. And this dude, Gaston of Bardowin. No, I don't want it. No. Okay, that guy looks creepy. Is that the king? Ooh. Madeline Valois. She has 2 daggers. Okay, that's what it is. Huh. Elaborate deception. Okay. That's cool. Chapter 1, The Investigation. Alright. Now again, the presentation hall is filled with guests and guards. More than before, and far less friendly. Oh, we got a lot of people here now. That guy looks kind of really, really pale. I'm sorry, I didn't see anything. It was dark. Oscar has not, in fact, eloped with the princess in a fit of madness. He is here, bruised, dirtied, scratched, and alone. How could they accuse him of kidnapping her if he's there and she's not there? So that doesn't make any sense. What the heck? According to the guards, he was discovered lying senseless under a rose bush. Of Cassidy, there was no sign. What? Why? Wise Paloma? She don't seem so wise if she's accusing him of this. Lack of common sense is one of my big pet peeves. You spirited her into the gardens and out of sight, my little baby. It was her idea. Oh, did she set him up? Is this her running away and she set him up? No, come on, please tell me that's not it. Oh, that's the Duke Farrod guy? Pull yourself together, boy, and speak respectfully. That is Duke Farrod the Disliked. The Disliked, yeah. And on first impressions, I cannot say that I am fond of him either. He is a pale man whose lips draw together in a pinched expression. His clothing, though well-tailored, is too somber for the festive occasion that this anniversary was meant to be, and his voice snaps like the switch ill-bred gentlemen wield on their servants. Oscar looks back at the Duke, his lip curling slightly. Then, with a small shake of his head, he draws himself to his full height. Her Highness wished to show me the Alba roses in the moonlight. She told me that the garden was enclosed on all sides. There did not seem to be any danger. Oh no, now they're gonna be accusing him too? Ugh. I don't remember what voice I gave him, you guys. I don't know. You were not satisfied with monopolizing the princess's public attentions. You wish to press your suit in the shadows. What? Press your suit in the shadow? Okay, the way they're phrasing these things are a bit strange to me, but okay. I would never have pressed her into anything. We were looking at the flowers and talking, nothing more. Then I felt a pain in my head. I tried to turn and something wrapped around my neck. That's all I know. Like any prince, Oscar has been trained in the arts of war, but in his case it is more of an art than a practical defense. He is passable with a sword in the context of a formal duel. With the firearm, he can strike a close-range target so long as neither he nor it is moving. A dishonorable opponent in hand-to-hand could take him down easily. I didn't hurt Cassidy, and I don't know where she is. Please, don't waste time asking me questions. We have to find her. Oh, pretty boy. It is terribly convenient that you were alone in the dark out of sight. How fortunate for you that you were completely unharmed by this mysterious assault. What? And, of course, when only you are able to find and rescue her, you will claim her hand as your reward. Are you saying that I made all this up? That's mad! They're turning on him. I have to do something. Your Majesties, may I speak? Oh, that's the king, alright. He looks so weird. It's his face? I don't know, it's just weird. Creeps me out. Go ahead. Everyone who saw them knew that Oscar and Cassidy were pleased with each other. Surely, of all the princes, he would be the least likely to try such a thing. Are you accusing us of petty jealousy? Of course not, my lord. I'm not accusing anyone of anything. That would be a quick way to make an enemy. I have to be careful what I say. Oh, Coco, is this going to be like, Long Live the Queen? And if I pick a wrong choice, I'm going to get killed or something. Bad ending immediately. If someone did scheme to kidnap the princess in order to force her into marriage, it probably wouldn't be a man who had a good chance of winning her without it. The benefit would not be worth the risk. A clever way to avoid suspicion. If there's a plot, then someone has something to gain. Something that's worth risking their life to get it. So who benefits? All of a sudden, the king's wisdom goes pale. Clutching at her husband's arm for support. Yeah, I guess instead of queen, they say wisdom? Because it was like wise Paloma, like Queen Paloma maybe. And I remember they did mention something about wisdom before. It's an interesting title. I cannot guess what thought has occurred to her, but I must press forward my point while I can. As my lord has suggested, I believe that it is important to locate her enlightened highness as soon as possible. Enlightened highness, interesting. Okay, Coco dear, have a good time. I will talk to you later. Before whoever is behind this has a chance to cause further mischief. Naturally, I cannot tell a king what he must or even should do, but I am a noble woman's daughter, even if a low-ranked one. It is not improper to make a suggestion, particularly when the credit is placed upon worthier lips.
Indeed.
His gaze sweeps the room.
You will all be escorted to your rooms under guard.
I have done nothing. I will not be treated.
You are being treated like an honored guest. Your chambers will remain private and you will remain within them. All of you, including you, Farod.
Your Majesty, I assure you. I want to help with the search.
Be quiet, both of you. As far as I am concerned, you are the prime suspects. You will return to your rooms and stay there, and pray that my daughter is found unharmed.
Oh, Oscar, you never did learn when it was best to avoid being noticed. As if he's heard my thoughts, he turns to look at me. When his eyes fall upon the amber stone at my neck, a tiny smile warms his face. Aww. And then the guards come for us both. This is bad, very bad. If the princess isn't found quickly and word leaks out, all of Guelenor will be in chaos. If she has been kidnapped with the intention of forcing her into marriage, or worse, killed, there hasn't been a true war between civilized lands in a century. The repercussions could bring destruction beyond imagining. And if the blame for such a disaster were placed on Oscar, his family might well give him up rather than risk open war on his behalf. Even if the matter is resolved peacefully, the scandal could ruin him. It goes without saying that my own fate in such a circumstance would be far worse. Cassidy must be found as soon as possible. I'm wondering... Well, I guess we'll see. The guards escort us to our rooms, but true to the king's word, they do not follow us inside. Within these walls, it would seem our territory is still sovereign. Of course, I don't intend to remain within that protection. I can't rely on the local palace guard to solve this mystery, not with so much at stake. That's what I was thinking. I was hoping that she would go out there and search for the princess, so yeah. Therefore, once the door is closed, I begin changing my gloves and shoes into something more appropriate, or at least more suitable for getting around unobserved. You're going out, aren't you? Don't worry, everything will be all right. Wait, don't go yet. Can we talk, please? The look in his eyes is hard to face. Between the letter and the dance and the attack, he must be feeling torn to pieces. I know he's upset, but the fact remains that every minute now could make the difference. Okay. So I guess this is the fourth choice. Fourth choice. Okay. Let's see. I feel like if I wanted to cement being on his route, that I should stay and talk to him. Plus, I might get some more information about what happened to her. But I don't know if I want to cement myself on his route, even though it appeals to me a lot. Excuse me. What do you guys think? Should we stay and talk to him and maybe find more information? Or should we just leave immediately and hopefully get more clues out there? I'll let you guys decide, honestly. Gives me a chance to drink some water. You would get more clues by talking to him? Yep. Okay, anyone else with an opinion before I pick that? Okay, then I'll pick this one. Alright. But not for long. Maybe it's wrong, but I can't leave him like this. He needs me, and I need him to be okay. Are you alright? I'm fine. It's only bruises. I should have fought harder, or made more noise, I suppose. It all happened so fast. Why didn't Cassidy help you? I don't think she can fight. Well... Ah, now we come to it. The romance. I can see it in his smile. I take a seat and school my face to hide any hint of reaction. I must not appear jealous. Go on, tell me about her. She's very sweet, attentive. She's not like my sisters at all. She was so easy to talk to. We'd keep thinking of new things to say, and she doesn't think I'm stupid. Aw. You're not stupid. He laughs and shakes his head. I think we all are sometimes. But with her, I wasn't afraid of making a mistake. Aw, he does seem to like her. She told me about Caspian, how he died so young. Do you know they wouldn't even let her play with her own brothers after that? They were so afraid of her falling ill, they never let her have friends. She said she hoped the two of us would be very good friends. I wanted that. See? Okay. I think that would be good for them too. Even if they don't get together, then if they could stay friends would be great. So that him and Madeline could end up together. Friends? You mean you two weren't planning the wedding? What? Well, I liked her, but don't you think that would be a bit sudden? Oh, he's blushing. Of course it would. All that worry for nothing. And now we've got far worse to worry about. I just feel awful. She was so nice and I wanted to make her happy, and I let her down. You said earlier that it was Cassidy's idea to go into the gardens, right? Sure. I didn't even know there was a garden out there until she pointed it out. It was too dark to see it through the glass. And how did the guards know to find you? Okay, yes, give us these details, please. I'm not sure. I think they came looking for us because we'd been out of sight too long. So she lured you into the dark, and she didn't scream for help when you were attacked. Exactly. That's what I was thinking, Madeline. I like how that our thoughts are pretty much in sync right now. What are you suggesting? I don't know. It's just that, well, if you say she had no freedom and no friends... I remember living like that, and I at least did have my own sister as a companion. I was still allowed to travel. How much worse to be a prisoner in your own palace? Even a perfect princess would break eventually. She might have organized a plan to get away from her minders for a while. I doubt we'll find her in the cellar with the sweets, but she might have run on her own. I did. Of course I would have run, but I would not have gotten someone like Oscar hurt in the process.
That's wonderful.
What?
Well, that means she's all right, right?
If it was really her idea, and if her fellow conspirators don't betray her, and if she doesn't manage to get herself hurt during her adventure. Oh, that's why I have to go and find her.
Yes, right.
Be careful. I grasp his shoulder and give it a little shake. Everything will be all right. And now it will be a simple matter to slip out unseen. Out of a window, that is. The special gloves I'm wearing are designed for gripping surfaces when climbing. They're very useful. I'll go out our window and back in through the next one down. Yeah, I know, Sign. What Coco said earlier is true. It's my headset. It's the old headset, and it has cracks in the wiring, so that's why you're going to keep hearing that. So I'm thinking after this stream I might have to just throw these away, even though they were so good to me for so long. They're very useful, yeah. I'll go out our window and back in through the next one down. From there I'll be able to reach the main hallways, and any guards outside our room won't see a thing. Most of the palace staff must be busy with the search. They may not have even bothered to keep our door under watch, but I would rather not run the risk of drawing more suspicion. After some time picking my way carefully through the darkened service corridors, I begin to wonder if I've made a mistake. I was right, of course, that the official guards would not be capable of a thorough search. Only once that I've seen have they bothered to enter these passages, and that so briefly that it was so easily within my capabilities to stay out of sight. Perhaps they have focused their efforts on blocking exits from the palace. Not an unreasonable approach, but the fact remains that there are 1,000 places they have not investigated. These corridors may be out of sight of the guards and the nobles who observe propriety, but they are hardly secret. Any servant with a bucket of coal or filthy wash water or similar undecorous tasks would be expected to use these halls to avoid the risk of dirtying the fine carpets. And I've passed a few such already in my wanderings. None of them have questioned my presence at all. In fact, they've been eager to share the garbled gossip of how the search is progressing, all of which is mostly useless. If someone tells me that she heard from a butler who heard it from a maid that a guard saw a suspicious figure by the morning music chamber, well, even if that was accurate when it was first heard, and even if it hadn't been altered by passing through so many mouths, it's old news by now. And of course, knowing where the guards have searched still doesn't mean that I can rule those places out. Any child knows that one of the best places to hide a stolen toy is in a location that has already been thoroughly searched. I'm going in circles and getting nowhere. I don't know what to do next. I can't give up now. What I need is information, motives, methods. If Cassidy arranged her own disappearance, where might she have gone to hide? If it was someone else, where might they have put her? What contacts do they have? What do they know? Just running around loose on my own isn't likely to make a difference, but I don't have any connections here. Except that one. Aha! Oh, didn't I give her a weird accent? Like, what? What was it? Australian or something? You're not supposed to be here. Kind of like that? I don't know. Yes, I am. No, you're not. You and your prince are supposed to be in your rooms. I can't rate her for her manners, but she apparently has the advantage on many of the palace staff in terms of intelligence. Not that it's stopping the others. The others? Well, you don't expect a great lord to stay still and will say so of a nobody guard, do you? Those that are born that way know who makes the rules. Of course. Wonderful. If Oscar's the only suspect staying put, that'll make things even more confusing. Wait, does that mean their rooms are empty? Could be. You want to get into those rooms, don't you? Spying again? I tapped the side of my nose with my finger meaningfully. I would never violate the privacy of honored guests. So you don't want to? Well, never mind then. I take back my earlier assessment. She may be observant in some ways, but she certainly didn't invent gunpowder. Girl, she was kind of being sarcastic. Why are you... Slow. Yes, I would like to have a look if I can get in without being seen. A nearby window, or a service door, or a large chimney, if you know the way. Or the keys. You have keys to those rooms? Maybe I'll do. What's there for me? Look, you... What's your name? Dolores, miss. Dolores, I'm trying to find your princess and prevent civil war, or worse. I'm not doing this to gain anything for myself. Well, good for you, lady whatever, but there's nothing to me. I sigh. What do you want? No, not her necklace. No, you witch. Damn it. That necklace you're wearing is very pretty. Oscar's necklace. Oh, no. Okay. Well, this is the 5th choice now. I don't want to give it. You don't deserve it. And if Oscar sees that, he'd be very upset. But I feel like us being stubborn about that might also really cement us on his route. Oh no, I feel like we're just slipping into it naturally, aren't we? Oh well. He's so adorable, it's hard not to. Offer money? Yeah. Let's do it. I reach through the slit in my clothes for my purse and fetch out 4 silver ducats. Here, more than it's worth and more use to you. Present from someone special then, miss? None of your business. Very well, lady whatever. With the bribe safely stowed, her smile takes on a harder quality. Whose room do you want? Only one? I can't wait around for you while you search. Too many eyes. I suppose that makes sense, but with so much writing on my decisions, how can I choose? This is just choosing who I'm suspicious of, not even like who I want her to be with. Of course, Dolores is a lower servant, nearly invisible to the eyes of the mighty, and she notices things. Can you tell me a little about the other guests? Yes, that would help. I don't have all night. We have to hurry. She seizes my arm and starts to pull me along, keeping up her rapid monologue in an undertone. The Duke and his bunch won't let even the chambermaids in to air their rooms. Don't know if it's territory or if they've got something in there. I'm suspicious of him for sure. But he's also a bit too obvious, isn't he? I don't know. The pale fellow, because nobody wants to do his room. Because he's got all these bottles like a pharmacist. Pharmacist? Pharmacist? I don't know. And who wants their fingers to rot off from poisons and curses? And the glittery one smells. It's true, but... She drops her voice even further to a whisper. I heard it from a junior scullion that someone saw a girl who looked like the princess in his room once. Huh. Can't tell you that it's true, only that I heard it. So which room do you want to see? Okay. I'll tell you my thoughts before I let you guys choose. The Duke is shady as heck, right? Plus, he's not even one of our dating options. So automatically, I'm thinking, might be a bad guy. The Prince, Nazagi, is kind of... People are kind of suspicious of him and they think he's like a poison person or something. But I don't know if that's one of those, like, he's just misunderstood, you know? The fact that a princess might have been seen in Gaston's place is kind of suspicious. But I don't know. He doesn't feel like a main bad guy to me. He's just kind of one of the loudmouth types. So honestly, the most shady one is the Duke. But they could be smart and like throw that off and have it be one of the other two. So I don't know. If I was just to go by my gut, I would just go to the Duke. But it's also too obvious, so I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. What do you guys think? Well, of course I'm gonna save, but I do want your opinion. Okay, we're already here. This will be the 6th choice. Okay. Mr. Shady's room. I mean, he's the only one who feels very obviously bad, right? Okay, sign left, so... Alright, then we'll just go to Mr. Shady's room. Fine, now let's get moving. And whatever you do, don't tell anyone I helped you. Oh, his room looks weird. The page leads me to Duke Farrod's room, where she unlocks the door and holds it open for me to slip quietly inside. Then, her purpose served, she leaves me to my task. There tends to be a certain similarity to these guest quarters. After all, there is no way to know who might be residing within them at any time. However, there is something odd about the rooms assigned to Duke Farrod, a difference that nags at me until I can place it. The walls are bare of ornament, no hanging lamps, no clocks, no portraits, and, more importantly, the suggestion of pale outlines where such things might once have been placed. Nothing visible but closed cabinets and a long wooden chest on the floor. Have they been stealing this stuff? Could Duke Farrod and his attendants be pilfering the palace treasures? It would seem a foolish thing to do so openly, but as the Duke and Duchess are powerful figures within Guelinor, the crown might not wish to risk instability over a few petty thefts. Okay, welcome back, sign. That chest, it looks too rough-hewn for a palace issue. Something they brought with them? If they are appropriating items, it might be a logical storage location. There is a lock on the lid, of course, but that is a little obstacle. I am hardly a professional burglar, but I am capable of getting past a simple lock, given enough time. More than it would be safe to spend fumbling in an open corridor. Here in private, I have the luxury of being unhurried. However, it is often wise not to take obstacles at face value. I feel around the wooden sides and am rewarded with a hidden catch which bypasses the lock entirely, popping the lid open. Now for a look inside. Oh. To my surprise, the chest contains neither missing objects d'art nor incriminating paperwork relating to the princess's disappearance. Instead, it is packed with 3 muskets, bayonets, balls, and powder. Weapons that no civilized guest should be bringing to an occasion like this. Yeah, that's weird. Uh-oh. Here we go. Back away from that carefully, or I'll spit you where you stand. My breath catches. Apparently I was too hasty in assuming these rooms were unoccupied. Oh, it's him. Okay. I thought it would be like one of his henchmen. Turning slowly, I find myself facing the point of Duke Farrod's blade. He's only one man with one weapon, and I am not helpless. I would not make much of a companion for a prince if I were so easily cowed. However, every gentlewoman knows that sometimes submission is the best defense. He is within his rights, and I am not. If I challenged him here, then come victory or defeat, my prince would still be disgraced. As such, I offer no resistance.
You were promised inviolable territory. Has all tradition been cast aside, or are you acting on your own? Wait, you're not one of Frederick's. You're the servant of that witless princeling. Or perhaps not so witless. Has he sent you to plant evidence then?
I draw myself up with as much dignity as I can manage after having been caught with my hands in the sack, as it were. I am searching for Princess Cassidy.
Indeed. And why did you expect to find her here?
I didn't expect anything. I was searching for clues. I point to the forbidden chest behind me. You obviously have something to hide. The king seemed to believe that either you or Oscar would be the most likely culprit, and since I know that Oscar is innocent, that leaves you.
Do you honestly know so little of the situation as that? You should pay more attention to your lessons, girl. I am the obvious suspect because my wife is the daughter of the current wisdom's sister, and she has just blessed me with an heir.
Oh. His wife, the Duchess Sophia, is Princess Cassidy's cousin, and would have been second in the line of succession before her marriage. If Cassidy is dead, then Sophia's infant daughter becomes the new princess.
Even if it were otherwise, you insult my intelligence to suggest that I would hold my cousin here.
But here, my lord, is where the crown swore not to look. I thought it was important that someone did.
Child, they searched each of our rooms while we were called to assembly.
Of course they did. I should have realized. Any such search must have been cursory, but enough to discover a prisoner tucked quickly out of sight. Still, just because the rooms were checked earlier doesn't mean they shouldn't be checked again now. She could have been moved after the search.
Better, but you're still far out of your depth.
If you mean the princess no harm, why are you traveling with firearms?
In case someone else means harm to me and mine.
With a shrug, he sheathes his dagger. Okay, he's shady, but I don't think he's the bad guy. Yeah, it was too obvious.
If you are what you seem, girl, your instincts are sound, but your experience is lacking. Return to your master before someone notices you missing and draws more shadow over us. If you are playing a deeper role in this game, be grateful that I do not yet have cause to kill you. Now leave.
Yes, my lord. Well, it was interesting, that's for sure. A cold man, and a mysterious one. Yet he could have attacked while I was so foolishly distracted with my search. Could have demanded some forfeit in exchange for my trespass. Instead, he waited for an explanation and then sent me on my way. He may yet be a villain, but not a mindless one. Yeah, he's pretty smart. A clever villain, of course, is even more dangerous. Okay, I like that. That was a good exchange. Very interesting. Once more, I slip into the hidden halls. There is no sign of the page Dolores, nor any other observers. But this does not reassure me. I've been too long gone, with too little accomplished. I must return to Oscar. I wish I had more to tell him. He's done nothing wrong. I know he hasn't. An honest investigation cannot point back to him, because he is innocent. Logically, therefore, this mess should not come to roost over our heads, but that doesn't mean it won't. It is my task to defend him in all ways, to guard him from danger, to save him from dishonor, and to present him in the best possible light. Rescuing a lost princess would make him a hero, one that any woman would want as her husband. What greater laurel could I earn for him? I can't give him what he wanted from me. This is the only gift I can offer. That, of course, is if I succeed. If I do not, if this scandal is pinned to his name, I will not fail him. I will find Cassidy. But first I must speak with Oscar, to tell him what little I have learned and see if it sparks any clue. There was again no one on guard in front of our rooms, so it was simple for me to unlock the door and slip back inside. Oscar was not on hand to greet me. He may be resting his sore head, which is worrying in itself. He was knocked unconscious earlier, however, briefly. His injury may be worse than it appeared. Of course, he may simply have found some way to distract himself in my absence. I should call out quietly to give him warning of my approach. Before I can speak, a figure barrels out of the bedroom, and it is not Oscar. Intruder! Oh, there she goes. Somebody broke into their room, but where's Oscar then? At once, my daggers are in my hands. The strange man attacks with a powerful overhead strike, a move generally useful only for splitting melons. Even caught off guard, I have more than enough time to brace and catch his stroke on my blades. His angle is not good enough to push him, or my angle is not good enough to push him back more than a few steps, but by that point I can assume a better stance. He comes at me again, testing my reflexes, one move of his long sword towards my eye, and then circling down to slice at my feet, both times easily brushed aside. Then for my middle, and this time I catch the blade again, twisting to hold his sword up and away with the hilt of the dagger in my right hand, while I push in and slash at his hands with the one in my left. He jerks back, clearly fearful of any injury to his hands, and leaves himself open. I pursue, spinning as I move to hide my precise target. With one move I can drive a dagger backwards and up into his heart. But no, he ran further than I expected, and I catch only the air. I turn my head to find my target behind me and to the side, again making a wild overhead swing. Too late to turn, I dive for the floor and roll to come up facing the correct direction. His sword slices through empty air and into the floor, scarring the wood. He's overbalanced. Driving in my heels, I grab the plush edge of the embroidered rug beneath him and yank. My assailant stumbles, falling back against the heavy marble fireplace while I climb to my feet. Looks like that impact left a bruise, though nowhere near enough to put him out of the fight. He has reach and strength, but not so much skill, I think. Time to take the offensive. Get him, girl, get him! I bare my teeth and snarl, then leap forward, tapping his sword at full speed with first one dagger, then the other, getting him used to the pattern of parrying. When the moment comes, I trap his sword between my blades and give it a wrench that would have sent it flying from the hand of an untrained man. This one retains his grip, but for the moment his weapon is neutralized. I force him up against the wall, too close for him to bring a sword to bear, and look up into the eyes of my enemy. It is Prince Callum. I knew it! From the shadow outline, it looked like him. By the blue sky, what do you think you're doing?
Testing you.
Really? They could have killed you. He smirks at me and casually eases his sword from my control.
I don't think so.
A prince should have the best tutors and more skill in sword fighting than the clumsy attacks he demonstrated on me. That is true. Of course, he is one of many, a neglected younger son, as he said. Why are you here?
I require your aid.
You want to get my help by breaking into my room and attacking me?
I needed to be sure you would not freeze in a crisis. I need a pair of hands I can rely on, not another burden.
For what? He shrugs me aside and takes a few long strides away, before turning back to answer over his shoulder dramatically. Oh, that's such an anime thing to do. Oh, these emo boys. Yes, I'm gonna stop and look over my shoulder and talk to you. Oh, love it. I wish I could have seen it animated, but that's funny.
A task that calls for the sort of woman who climbs out of windows and slips locks, and who draws a blade at a moment's notice.
You want me to spy for you? And you think you can trust me for that? You don't know me. You must have servants of your own.
I need someone with no connections. That means you, Valoy of Osendawir. You are going to do exactly as I tell you for two reasons. One, because I need your help to rescue my sister, and two...
Oh. Oh dear. Poor Oscar. He's the damsel in distress here, huh? He pulls open the inner door, revealing a factor that I should have considered earlier.
Because if you don't, I'll slit your master's throat.
Oscar! Oh, chapter 2, the bargain. Okay, these chapters are pretty fast. Alright, well, I think this is a good place to leave it. Okay. Okay, and a second stream. Alright, well, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you're enjoying this. I know I am so far. It's pretty interesting. I like the mystery, I like the action, and of course, the romance will be nice as well. Sorry for the crackling of this damn headset, which now I know I must say goodbye to, which makes me sad. Alright, but anyway, until next time, have a nice day. Bye-bye. Thanks for coming. Bye.